Hello, hello, hello. It's Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Success Bully is an elite accountability practice, so that makes me your personal professional butt kicker. And what we're super excited about right now is empowering other coaches and consultants to scale their businesses by offering high ticket services. And I'm talking, we want to double revenue, y'all. We want to double revenue. We want to quadruple our impact. We want to show up in places and spaces that we haven't been in previously. So I am so excited. I'm so excited that we're going into a short, long week in the sense of we're going into this holiday season. We're kicking off the festivities. So I just want to take a moment and say that I am grateful. I am thankful. I appreciate every member of this community. I am grateful for the Success Bully team. I am grateful for our clients, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to really, truly do what I love every day with people I love every day. And there's so many folks that don't get to say that. There's so many people that are, um, trudging through and just trying to get through the day and feeling underappreciated, overworked, undercompensated, struggling at their mental capacity. And I am so grateful that I get a chance to literally do what I love and use my natural gift and talent, which is the gift of encouragement. And so I am so glad to see you all here. Great to see you. Great to see you. And so today I wanted to kind of chat about continue this conversation around the numbers, right? So November has been all about the numbers and numbers that you need to watch for in your business that are just besides the vanity numbers of the number of followers that you have or your videos going viral. These are the numbers that drive revenue. These are the numbers that I want you to. These are the things that lead you down the pathway of getting new clients. And so I really wanted to take some time to talk about consultation calls, consultation calls, and why they are the lifeblood of your business. So I like to call that smiles and dials, because like you gotta sound happy on all of these calls. But the reality is, I haven't gotten to a place in my practice, and I'm sure there's somebody selling this program somewhere where we have skipped the the have a conversation with me. We haven't gotten to a place where we have skipped the consultation call. And so besides I I think consultation calls, I consider them like a test drive. Just like if you were going to go and buy a luxury vehicle or any vehicle, I guess all vehicles are so expensive now they luxury. But you're going to go buy a luxury vehicle. You want to talk to the salesperson, you want to experience the car, you want to test drive it, you want to understand all the buttons and what do you do if you need help, and how does the OnStar work, and how do you the keyless entry, and what's the difference between a panoramic roof and a moon roof, like you want to get all your questions answered. And so like a consultation call, I think of that as the same thing. It's an opportunity for you as the coach. It's opportunity for you as the coach to vet the potential client to see that they're a good fit. Do you match? Will you mesh personality wise? Are they throwing up red flags? Like, are there certain things that they're non-committal on, or as you talk to them, are you seeing patterns that may have more of a deeper root in mental health than in coaching? Those are all things you can kind of assess during a consultation call. And so I'm not at a place where I'm willing to skip those just yet. I think some of the initial new to our business calls, our team takes some of those, but in terms of that final, we're getting to, let's talk about coaching and what that means for you. I like to talk to everyone. So I want to know that they're a good fit for us because I am not paid to be nice. I'm paid to get you results. And so I'm not for everybody. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not being for everybody. And you should feel that way too. Your coaching is not for everybody. So there's a couple things why the consultation call is so important. Because it comes back to you know, last week we talked about knocking over that first domino, right? So knocking over that first domino, and that's starting the conversation. And then eventually that conversation has to turn into the number of invitations you're extending to have a consultation call. And then we want to look at the calls that are booked versus the calls that are held, right? And so when we think about the consultation call, think of that's your test drive, right? That's your test drive. So it's an important step that we don't want to skip. We don't want to skip it. But what I want you to really measure, how many of those are you booking a week, right? How many of those are on your books? How many are being held? And how many are no shows or cancellations or whatever comes up? Because generally, if you see a high no show rate, then I want you to think about your follow up tools, right? So we're measuring how many do we get, how many are held, how many are no shows, right? On my personal tracker, I measure how many new leads I bring in a day. So I'm still doing organic lead generation besides all of our ad buys. I measure how many people I connected with. I measure how many people I invited to have a consultation call with me. I measure how many calls I had, and then I make sure to track who was a no show, how many were held, what were no shows. So if you see that you have a high no show rate, there's something broken in your follow up system. And so, but again, the numbers don't lie, right? This is all math. And so by identifying some of these really small things, really small things, those are easily tweaked. They're easily tweaked. They're easily tweaked, right? And so yeah, so like we want to really measure if we're seeing that more than half of our calls don't hold, then let's add a layer of follow up. Maybe you need to add text message plus email. Or I found we were using automated booking tool, and there was one toggle that I neglected to click, so it wasn't going to people's. They were getting all the follow-up emails, but they weren't getting the calendar invite on their calendars, and that made a big difference for those calls, right? So these are all things that can easily be fixed. So you want to track them, right? And so also I want to encourage you around the idea of not everything has to be a consult call, although we do have to have a conversation to see if we're vetting where you can reskin them. You can reskin them. So you could have a brainstorming session. You could have a 10-minute getting to know you call. You could have a strategy session. You could have a fit call. You can have a exclusive VIP moment, right? And so yeah, you want to just make sure that uh, that you're always asking for them some kind of way. So whether you ask for a consultation call, generally if you're a consultant, a consultation call is pretty spot on. A strategy session, a brainstorming session, a getting to know you session. You could there by reskinning them, you can ask again repeatedly. You can ask people over and over again to have a conversation with you, because at the heart of it, it's a conversation. So you can reskin them. So track them, reskin them to increase the number that you get on your calendar, right? Or besides renaming them, you could actually have a call to solve a very specific problem, right? So I'm trying to give you some suggestions on how to get more consultation calls on your calendar, right? As more consults, the more opportunities you have to propose to make a proposal, the more opportunities you have to close the business, right? So we need more of those. And if you look at your calendar and you go weeks and weeks without consultation calls, or you have one or two a week, that right there is impacting the cash flow. That's impacting cash flow right there, and that can be remedied a number of ways. So reskin them, call them other things. Or a third suggestion for this would be solve a specific problem. So have a call to talk about your holiday strategy, right? Or have a call to talk about your New Year's resolution strategy. So when people are top of mind and they want to really work on changing their lives, book a call, have a specific call that you or a scenario that you walk them through. So like there's a number of different ways. So you can reskin them. They're the same format but just a different name, or you could actually have a specific call to solve a specific problem, right? So like, we do stuff like ideal client and avatar, or a conversation, a session about pricing your program, right? And it all comes back to, these are all things that cumulatively we cover in our coaching programs, right? So like in any one of our coaching programs, whether it's our online course or our group coaching program, we help you with those things, right? We give you the tools and resources to do those things. So I would just kind of consider this. So track it. So yeah, if you're seeing a breakdown where a lot of your calls aren't holding, it could be your follow-up, right? Or it could be something as small as like you don't have the toggle to send them a calendar invite in your online booking tool, right? So track that. Reskin some of the calls. So sometimes it's a strategy session, sometimes it's a fit call, sometimes it's a brainstorming session. You can call it any number of things. The mechanism is to get to know them. You want to this is not a coaching call. This is not a coaching call. A consultation call is not a coaching call. A consultation call is not a coaching call. This is where a lot of folks lose money, because they solve problems on the consultation call that should be solved during the coaching call. When you have a signed contract and a paid invoice, right? A consultation call is kind of like when you go to the ER and they triage you, where they take your temperature, they ask you a few questions, they ask you what you're experiencing, they measure your oxygen levels. You're asking questions to identify whether or not you can help them, whether they're a good fit for you, whether, because sometimes we get people on our calendar, they're just too early in their journey. You ideating. You haven't even started. I don't know, like, here's some suggestions. But these are all things we're not coaching on the consultation call. Fight that urge. Fight that urge to give a bunch of solutions and send them on their merry way. Fight the urge. Sometimes I literally have to bite my tongue on a consultation call, right? Because your job is to assess, right? And see if there is something you can prescribe for them, right? We're triaging. We are not coaching on the consultation call. My final point on consultation calls, and then I'm going to boogie on out of here, is just the idea that your consultation calls, you got to fight it, LaShondra, fight it. If you want to increase your show rate for your consultation calls, do not give people full access to your calendar. Limit your availability, but also limit the window with which they can book. I find that people that book 3 weeks out, if they book outside 2 weeks and beyond, they're not showing up for that call. They are less likely to show up for a call. So set your online booking tools so that they have a 10 business day window or 14 full days that they can see, have access to your calendar. Also block out times, even if you don't have any clients right now. You want to appear busy, and then you will be busy. You will be busy at a point, but like we want to already set the stage of their rules of engagement, right? That you have set times that you do consultation calls, you have set times that you meet with clients, and you have set times when you work on the business, right? And so by giving people 60 rolling days to book a consult with you or to book a conversation with you, it's not top of mind anymore. It's not top of mind. So like I definitely find that the less accessible I am, the higher our show rate, right? And so like I would just play around with that. That's what I know to be true in my practice is just, if somebody's booking, if it's November and they booking in January, it's highly unlikely they're going to show up in January, right? Unless they pay for it. And like my consultation calls, I don't charge for those. If you want to have you know, a coaching conversation where you actually want to strategize with me in terms of laying out a clear pathway for your business, that is a coaching conversation, and that has to be monetized on my end. So yeah, so when you're thinking about smiles and dials, like look at that. If you've had a slow few months, look at how many consultation calls you've had, because that's a cumulative effect where like it might not show up this month, but if you have several months where you have very few consultation calls, eventually you have clients that there's a natural attrition where clients are cycling off and you're not refreshing them with new clients. So we really have to be mindful of how many consultation calls you have on your calendar a week. And as you grow, you can outsource that. You don't necessarily have to take every call, but it's still something that you should be measured. And it is something that we talk about on team meeting every week. We talk about how many calls did we had, how many people were no shows, how many were a good fit, how many people are pending, who closed. We talk about all of those things. Now, if you want to increase your opportunity, to close. You want to increase. It's just, you got to take more shots. You know what I mean? And I get it. Not everybody's going to be a great fit, but if you have zero consultation calls, you're more than likely going to have zero new clients. Like there's a rare, even with a referral. I still have a conversation with a referral. If they come in the door and they're like, I want to work with you, take my money, I'm still going to have a conversation with them. Right. And so I just want you to consider that with consultation calls, again, measure them. You see how many you're having week to week, who's a no show, who's a reschedule, all of that stuff. Track all of that. I want you to really, really think about reskinning them. So you can call them whatever you want to call them. They could be a brainstorming session. They could be a study session, a jam session, whatever you want to call them, just to add some vibrancy and to sound like you're talking about something new. But they're all going to be the same mechanism. Or you could have a call that solves a specific problem, a very specific problem, such as fit, avatar, program design, pricing. New Year's resolutions, really big for us. Goal setting is really big for us. So again, I just want you to really think about that, and then limit the access to your calendar. So again, this is a hard truth. This is a hard truth. And so like take an honest inventory. You can be mad at me if you want to. I'm okay. But there are people that are mad at me about more trivial things than saying this. This is a hard truth. If you don't have consultation calls, you don't have clients, right? Especially when you're first starting out, where you don't have all you don't have a scaled team, you don't have the fancy funnels, you don't have the ad budget. You're really having to do organic lead generation, follow up with people, knock over that first domino, and invite them to have those consultation calls with you, right? And there are people that will debate this. There are people that will debate it. But again, it's just like shopping for that luxury vehicle. And you wouldn't just walk in and buy it. Maybe you would. I haven't had that experience. I gotta know with a big purchase, which coaching is a luxury service. You want to get all your questions answered. You want to know that it's a good fit. You want to know that it's the right decision and the right choice for you. You want to know that as a coach, but your client wants to know that as well. So once again, I am Keita Williams, and I am the founder and chief strategist of Successfully. And before I go, we're going to be yelling about this the next couple weeks. We're not letting y'all have no excuses. There are no excuses in 2023. There are no excuses in 2023. We are hosting a planning and working session on December 13th. It's called the Six-Figure Setup. If you haven't made 100K in your coaching practice, join us on this. Join us for this event, December 13th. We'll be posting about it the next couple weeks. We have limited spots because we want to make sure everyone gets personal attention. My goal with this Six-Figure Setup is to make sure that you walk away. You're going to have a workbook that you're going to walk away that you're going to walk away with your plan written out, and you know step 1, step 2, step 3, all the way through step 100. You know, when you sit down to work on your business, when you sit down to grow your coaching practice, you know the next step, right? I'm not talking theoreticals. We're going to get real clear about what you need to do to make $100,000 plus in 2023 in your coaching practice, right? So if you have not if you have not got your spot, go ahead and get your spot today. You know, there I love what I do, and this is something that I am really passionate about. And y'all get ready, because this is what I'm working on my one-on-one practice, which I only got 10 spots in 2023. So don't at me about working with me one-on-one. I'm doing the same formula to get to your 7 figures. But to get to your 7 figures, we got to do your 6 figures first, right? So if you haven't made it, if you haven't made that 100K, sign up for this. Sign up. Sign up. There's a nominal cost for it, so I just want to ensure that y'all will be on the Zoom. I promise you, you can't go to dinner with 2 adults for what we're charging for this, okay? And so grab your spot on December 13th. We'll put the link to the event in the comments. I am so excited. I can't wait to see you all flourish. And like I said, no excuses in 2023. I'm coming for all of y'all. No excuses. We are not going to lose focus. We're going to recommit, and we're going to take these last few weeks. You're going to take these last few weeks of the year to not take our foot off the gas, because there's money to be made, because there's so many other people that are pressing pause. Do not take your foot off the gas. So I'm getting all over the place. Let me reel it back in. So once again, I'm Keita Williams, and I am the founder and chief strategist of Successfully. It has been a pleasure and a delight. I want you all to have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your family. Enjoy the good food, and take a moment to reflect. Take a moment to reflect about all the things that you're grateful for in your life, and all the things you appreciate about your life, about the people in your life. And I look forward to harassing you in the next couple days about growing your business. All right, y'all, let's get after it.